Tell you something that might shock you. You were never lazy, you were trained to think you were. From the moment you were old enough to hold a pencil, you were told work hard, get good grades, get a stable job. But nobody ever mentioned that the entire system, the one teaching you to wake up early, obey orders, and never question authority, wasn't built to make you successful. It was built to make you compliant. So if you ever felt guilty or for not feeling motivated enough to grind 9 to 5 or for not wanting to live for weekends, let me be the first to say it. You are not broken. You're financially conditioned because what society calls laziness is often just a deep subconscious rejection of a system that was never designed for your happiness, only for productivity. The origin of laziness lie. You see this idea that you are lazy if you don't work non-stop. That didn't come from human nature. It came from the industrial revolution. Factories needed obedient workers, not thinkers, not dreamers, and definitely not people questioning why they are working 12 hours a day for scraps. So discipline became the highest virtue. Rest became laziness, and the mindset was passed down from factories to schools, and from schools to jobs, and from jobs to us. You didn't inherit laziness, you inherited burnout culture. The psychological trap. Ever notice how you feel guilty why when you take a day off? That's not motivation, that's financial guilt conditioning. We have been taught that our worth equals our output. If you are not producing, you are worthless. If you are not working, you are wasting time. But here's the kicker: that belief may benefit the system, not you, because a society filled with self-blaming individuals never questions who profits from their exhaustion. When you are too busy calling yourself lazy, you never realize how you have been systematically underpaid, overworked, and emotionally manipulated to stay that way. Let's talk about school, the real factory. You're taught algebra, history, maybe biology, but no one ever taught you about money. Not how to build wealth, not how to invest, not how the tax system works. Why? Because the schools were not built to create entrepreneurs, they were designed to create employees. You were trained to wait for permission, to seek grades instead of growth, to follow rules instead of opportunities. So when you step into real world and don't feel motivated to climb the corporate ladder, maybe it's not because you are lazy. Maybe it's because your soul knows this ladder doesn't lead to freedom. It leads to servitude. The financial conditioning cycle. Let's be real. The system rewards debt and punishes independence. From credit cards to college loans, mortgages to car payments, they make sure you owe something to someone at every stage of your life. Because when you are in debt, you are obedient, and you cannot risk quitting a job. You can't take time to explore passion projects. You can't slow down because the bills don't stop. So they call you lazy when you're tired. But the truth, you are drained by a system that profits off your fatigue. We we glorify hustle, but the hustle economy was built on fear of being broke, fear of falling behind, fear of not being good enough, and fear keeps you running like a hamster on a wheel that never ends. But here's what they don't tell you: the true productivity isn't about how hard you work, it's about how aligned you are. If you hate what you are doing, every hour feels heavy. If you love what you are doing, you lose track of time. So maybe your lack of motivation isn't a problem, it's a message that says you deserve more than survival. Here's the part where things shift. You can break this pattern, but it starts with awareness. You have got to unlearn what they taught you about money, work, and worth. Start asking different questions. What kind of a life do I want to wake up to? What does freedom look like for me? What if I built my own system, one that serves me, not enslaves me? Because the truth is, the new rich are not just people with money, they are people with time, with choice, with peace. If you have made it this far, it's because something inside you knows there's more. So let's rebuild. Here's how to reprogram your financial conditioning. First, detach worth from work. You are not your job title, you're not your income, you're the mind that can create both. Learn how money works, read, listen, and absorb because financial literacy is the real rebellion. In third, invest in freedom, not validation. Every dollar can either buy you ego or buy you time. Choose time. Create multiple streams of values, not just income, value. Start something that compounds over time, a skill, a business, an idea. Fifth one, rest without guilt. You can't pour from an empty cup. Rest is productive when it recharges purpose. You were never lazy. You were just conditioned to believe that you had to earn your right to rest, to dream, to live. But now you know better. You're not lazy, you're waking up. And the moment you stop blaming yourself and start questioning the system, you reclaim your power because once you understand how you are financially conditioned, you stop working for survival and start working for freedom. If this hit you somewhere deep, considering subscribing, not because I told you to, but because you know this journey doesn't end here. Because next time we'll talk about how to deprogram the scarcity mindset and start rebuilding real financial independence.